Well, I think he's an idiot. I mean, I think saying anything about the number of people he killed. And my father was in the Second World War, and I once asked him as a child if he killed anyone, and he was very reluctant to say anything about it. And so I didn't understand it. Someone said this morning he's put a target on his back, and I think that's probably about right. The stuff about Camilla, honestly, you know, it's dirty linen in public. It's not quite cricket, really.
So do you think he's gone too far?
Absolutely, far too far. I don't know if it's him or whether it's his missus, but, you know, it's completely out of order.
This is Stephen.
A little bit sensationalist, to be honest. I think the damage is probably irreversible now, unfortunately, and yeah, probably nothing like we've seen before. It seems quite unprecedented, and yeah, I think unfortunately the damage has really been done this time.
I'm just staggered by the machine gun revelations and accusations that are actually in the book. You know, I thought Oprah Winfrey was bad enough, and then I thought the Netflix documentaries were, well, they went worse than the Oprah Winfrey, but they weren't that great. But this is sensational stuff if you're a journalist. But if you remember the royal family, I would have thought you were holding your head in your hand. This is a man who has been complaining about his security at all, and he's now put himself back right into that firing line again by this bragging of killing 25 people.
My first reaction when I read that Harry was effectively boasting of killing 25 Taliban fighters through 6 sorties in his helicopter gunship was one of outrage, actually. They may have been enemy fighters, but they're still people. And speaking to military friends, and also Ben McBean, who was one of Harry's friends in the army, he said to me, we just don't do that. You might talk about it within your regiment or within your group. You don't talk about it on Civvy Street. You don't talk about it externally, because it is in effect, it's work, but it's in effect glorifying death, and that's not good. It's just not done. William and Harry were once so close. They lent on each other when their parents divorced, particularly after the death of their mother, Princess Diana. William was almost like a surrogate parent as well as older brother to Harry. To see the breakdown of that once so close fraternal relationship is hugely upsetting and sad. They are polarising, Harry and Meghan, and I think that this new book by Harry probably won't change many people's opinions. I think if anything, I think the Netflix series might have made Harry and Meghan a little bit more sympathetic generally. I think this autobiography, many people will think he's completely lost the plot. The likelihood of reconciliation in the short term with William and Charles, I put it precisely 0. How can you reconcile with Harry? How can you even talk to Harry when everything you say is potentially going to be used in a television interview?
It will be difficult to say in the long term if there is ever a burying of the hatchet, but in the short term, not at all. I just cannot see. He wants them to apologise to him. There's no mention from Harry, as far as I can recollect, of any apology to them for any of the things that he may have said or done. But is expecting apologies from them. He doesn't want an institution. He wants a family. Well, unfortunately, the royal family is a family, and it is also an institution. You can't separate that. It's completely different to your family and my family.
I think it's a bit sad, really. I think he's trying to go down the road of sensationalism, and you know, I think really being part or ex-part of the royal family as such, you know, they should really sort of like act in a more responsible way. You know, bragging how many people you've killed and internal fights. You know, normal people wouldn't sort of like air all of their problems at home and things like that. You know, socially. So. Yeah, I'm a bit disappointed because, you know, I respect him as a person and what he's done for this country, but the way he's going down the road now, I don't particularly like it at all.